face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Yo, sorry I'm far away. I can't get much closer. Can't get much closer, but I'm gonna try. Working on some cars today. Coming down off of a big race. Made Dalton his chassis protector.
Yeah.
Rusty farts. So he was all happy when he saw that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Made that one for him, and
then you just put it on the whole thing and then cut it out with a razor knife at the end.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I could take the time and actually draw it so that it would fit perfectly, but it's not that hard. I mean, there's a line to follow, so you just get a sharp knife and let it go.
Right.
So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Dude, I wanted to watch your video. I haven't seen it yet, but I was telling you off air that I'm jealous.
Oh yeah.
Super jealous.
Yeah, it's pretty much all it's cracked up to be and more.
Was that your Christmas present to yourself or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You're like, I had to.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, now I'm gonna have to do one. Just so I can be cool like Tony.
It's kind of one of those, like, if you only had one RC basher,
that would be the one.
I mean, if you're not into the flips and stuff, but you just want to tear up like areas, yards, and like it just handles so good. Like, yeah, it's my kind of truck. Like, it's so good.
That's what it looks good. I actually am interested.
If you like the trophy truck thing and whatever, like, I mean, you could get it to backflip if you do it right, but
sure,
if you're not going for that, if you're just looking to launch things and have like it just parachute, like all the trophy trucks do, right?
Yeah,
it's so cool.
That's awesome.
But that's what got me into the hobby. I said in the video, the low C10 SCTE10 RTR that they had back in the day. That was my first real RC. Like, I got the Stampede Traxxas, and I thought that was real, and then I got one that was brushless and was like, whoa. Okay, now we got some speed to work with. And I drove that thing all the time. Like, I ended up giving it to my buddy Jeremy, and he took it racing and was winning with it and all this stuff, and buddies were racing with it. It was sloppy as all get out. Like, it's just been driven hard and still was just an awesome truck. He's beating guys with technos and stuff.
That's cool.
But yeah,
that's that car. So I would like to get two of those, so we could do the U4 thing again. Like, because we can run that. We can run that in U4. So
yeah,
but we don't race U4 much anymore. But
it
would be fun to do it.
Hey, what's going on? So, CalRC, Travis, I saw you in here. Matt, people talking about the Lions. Color Jacks, what's up? These old flapping lips had a good one in there. Yeah, Axial 32. I didn't make it to reaction this past week. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this week. I technically have something, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I've had the Thursday night engagement longer, and I just want to tell you, hey, these aren't going to work having these on Thursday nights. Like,
right.
You're kind of
like,
it's the one that I try to set apart for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Do my thing is Thursday nights. Like, that's where I want to be. So when I'm not there, actually, it's not because I'm not wanting to be there. It's because I had something else for work or whatever popped up.
You're like,
but we I try not to give them up.
Says, hello, Tony, Pablo, and all in the chat. Happy New Year to you all. And happy birthday to Tony.
Scared. It's okay.
And happy birthday to Tony. He had a birthday.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yep.
So I was at a family get-together, and our uncle, who's older than us, his daughter and son-in-law were there. We're talking, and they work at one of them works at a bookstore. And I was saying something about how there's a couple. She was saying about how many
I'm
books
judging
she's
him
read.
already because he works in a bookstore. But go ahead.
She was saying how many books she read
Libraries
this
and
year.
bookstore people, I judge.
Right.
Sorry.
She goes, how she was saying like she read 100 books last year or whatever, and I was like, that's crazy. And then I said, I've been really thinking about getting some books on tape. And my uncle goes, did you just hear what you just said? Did you know that you just totally dated yourself? And I was like, what? And he's like, books on tape? Do you have a tape player still? It's like, well, how about that? It's like, oh yeah, we have technology now. So, it's like, I feel old. That's okay. So sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes you just got to let your age show.
I know, right? I was like,
I
wow.
can't help it anymore. My beard does it for me.
Yeah, me too. Whatever. Two elements.
He's got a bunch of stuff going on. Max,
What
a
happened?
Slash, an X Max.
That's what he got for Christmas? Or is that what he's selling?
No, he says they already have. I think they're trying to do something.
Oh. That's cool. I want some of that goodness. So
I just got a Scout 218. So I just got a Scout 18.
Did you?
Yes.
Dude.
I got the green one.
Nice. Green with I would love to see that with like some brass wheels on it, like actual brass colored wheels. Oh, yep. So dope. So dope. Yeah, I wanted to get one of those. I was light with myself when it came to RC. The kids really scored this Christmas with RC.
Crawler Tracks, just send me your info. I saw your message. Just send it to me. I'll get you some.
Not like real like RC kits or anything, but they got a lot of speed parts and they got, all the stuff that makes them faster. So
orange makes it faster. Orange. He says orange is greater than green. True story.
So that was
orange one is so good, but Dana already had it, and I'm like, if we end up just doing like, keep them pretty stockish crawl offs with them, where we're not necessarily in it to win it for the overall point score, but we're trying to best each other with like the medium scores. I didn't want to have the same color one as him, so yeah, this was my Christmas present for my wife.
Nice.
I said we should get the boys one, and she's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, shoot, just shot that down so good, and then she got me one. So,
oh, nice. I thought you were talking about the crawler. Yeah, I was like, oh.
Well, with the Scout, I think we should do like a wheels and tires can change series.
That'd be cool.
And like servo, but like keep stock motors, a lot of the other stock stuff, and just go for it. They're big and clunkier than the other ones, so they're not going to win, but they do pretty well.
They look pretty
I thought
sweet.
they was going to tip over a few times, and I'm like, oh, it's holding on. It's so light.
That's cool.
Yeah. They're all working on some cool hard bodies that they got some print files somewhere, and then our buddy Will just painted them to look as sick as ever.
Nice.
And I am kind of jealous.
Nice.
Now I'm going to have to get one and have Will paint it for me. Although I got my my one from Venge RC, and it's so good.
So good.
I mean, it's so good.
The video looks good. Little crawling clip that I saw.
Yeah. I have a long video of that. That's next in my queue.
Nice.
Yep. So I figured I need to get a bash one out where I was talking more New Year stuff.
Yeah.
But I have already shot. The one thing is, and it's not its fault, I gave him the shocks for it. I don't feel like the shocks are set up well for it yet. And that's not his fault.
Oh, yeah. So, that's just tuning. Yeah.
But the truck itself is insane until it wants to, like, if you're going downhill, it just wants to unload. So I think I'm just going to go, and they're really good shocks is the problem. They're really nice hard park ones. And so I just want to take all the springs and everything off it, which then means take this little spacer off it, and then it's a waste of really good shocks. So I might just put the type of shocks I'm used to on it and do them without springs, and then or do like Proline ones with oil in them and without springs, so it slows them down. And then I think I'll be in a good spot. Oh, Harley.
Who
he
are
says
the
go
chefs?
Chiefs, right?
And I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say, who are
They're
the
gonna
chefs?
be cooking us our breakfast.
Great
We're gonna
googly
devour
moogly.
them.
Who are the chefs? That's funny.
The only team I'm worried about is the Bills.
They're pretty hot.
They're
Not
pretty
gonna
hot. I
lie.
think we could hand it to the Chiefs,
Yeah.
especially if it's for the finals and we have our defense back.
Yeah.
I was actually worried about the Vikings, like coming into this last game. I thought they're gonna trounce us. Like they've been looking so good. Sam Darnold is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Carolina's doing, but they squandered him away and Baker Mayfield, and like they know how to make good quarterbacks bad.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of good quarterbacks bad, I'm so flustered. We'll just touch on this real quick, and then we'll get to RC. But I am so flustered with the Seahawks, with our quarterback, with Geno Smith. On paper, he looks good.
Yeah.
But he's a terrible leader. Like I
Mm.
hate his composure. Like his composure is just like, what's good? Like, he's like, if he throws a route and the
That's
receiver's
actually
not
about the
there.
Browns quarterback
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should be good, but he's just not. Like they're not rallying around him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it drives me crazy. And he just got a $6 million bonus because he needed to hit 69 point something % completion. He did that. He got 10 wins this season. And then there was something else that he did. I think he threw for so many yards or something like that, whatever it was. And he got a $6 million bonus, but he like squeaked it out for every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, we're paying this guy too much.
How did the Chiefs do in their last game? I didn't see that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just trying to remember.
Crawler Track says my son agrees with the Hawks. He's a diehard Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to watch because I'm a team player type guy, and it's just painful seeing this guy like get all pissy about stuff. I'm like, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Like, yes, I understand there's people that might not be doing the right job, but pick them up. You know what I mean? Like pick them up. Don't be a jerk about it. Anyways, that's how I feel.
I'm just saying, it's just saying where their second string is at. Like we've been playing with second stringers for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Except for our running back, who's phenomenal. But yeah, it's gonna be a good playoffs. I can't wait to see what happens. But
yeah.
On the RC front, man, that Mojave, so good. So good.
That's awesome.
And those Reefs tires were pretty legit.
Oh, you got some?
Yeah, I got the
Nice.
yeah. I haven't run the second set yet. I was gonna run it
Yeah.
on Thursday when I thought I was gonna be there.
Yeah.
But I didn't get up there. So but the cheaters were, I put them on my Vanquish. Dude. With just foams in it, no like any special anything. I just vented them and put them on with the stock foams, and they were hooking up. So I figured they would, being kind of like a pin cheater tire and cheaters.
Right.
They, and we don't have any rule against them, so they would be a usable tire at our course. And on our type of terrain, they did really, really well. So I need to get the other ones on and see how they do. I don't think they'll do as well, so I think the cheaters will go back on for that. And I'll probably trail truck the other ones.
Nice.
Which I'm totally blanking on the name of at the moment.
Dude, I need to start. So we finally have some weather coming. That'll be nice, but it's going to be cold.
I should have called them Comic Sans, but the Crux ones, yeah, are the ones I can remember.
That's the only reason why I'm not even interested in buying them, is because of the font that's on the sidewall. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't like look at it and be like,
"That's okay." You can't. That's okay.
You
can't be okay with it.
I can't be. It's like the Ryan Gosling SNL skit. Have you seen that? The Comic Sans skit?
No.
I know what you did. Know what you did.
No.
Oh my gosh. You got to see that after the show.
I'm just glad that they didn't choose that for all of them, like as their tire font. Because I thought when I saw the first one, I was like, oh boy, are we in for that for all of them? And it wasn't.
Thank
The
goodness.
cheater ones, I mean, at least were more like their, old school military stencil font, which, but it's still huge. It's still ginormous on them.
Right. I'm trying to find my wrench. Where's my wrench?
But
oh, there it is. No, I know. Yeah. So that's a reason why companies need art directors, creative directors, so they catch that kind of stuff and be like, what are you thinking? Like that would be the words that literally would come out of my mouth, be like,
yeah,
no. Like, no.
small. Well, it's so in the video world too. Like everybody, when they're first getting in, they're doing like their title credits or whatever. They put these huge fonts on. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Watch a movie.
I know.
Watch a real movie. Watch any. Do they use a font that big? Really, they're not going edge to edge of the screen. No.
Right.
They're not. Well, actually, sometimes they will go edge to edge, like full edge to edge, and
Quentin
but
Tarantino,
they're not doing. They're not doing like. If
that's when
if
you're
this
like
is my screen, I'm not doing this big on it.
Yeah, that's when
nice
you're like
and tight and professional in the middle and small. My goodness.
This isn't an art class.
Sorry.
As a graphic designer, I know. I've been looking to see if there's any side jobs out there for companies. I almost sent Harley a message being like, "Do you guys ever need a designer?" I started looking at different places. Like, hey, that'd be kind of cool to be a designer for those kind of places. Do that type of work because that's what I like to do. So I was like, hey, maybe I should start looking. I saw Horizon is hiring one, but it's in like they're looking for 5 creative directors or something like that, or 4 creative directors, and they're in like Cleveland, and I think one's in Detroit actually, but they're like all over the place. And I'm like, but they're not remote. Like, can't do it. Can't move right away.
How would they have you go in all these other places? I don't think they have a spot in Detroit.
I don't know where it is. I just know there was like 4 positions or something like that. 2 of them were
Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah. Yep.
I get if they're out in like California or whatever with Losi or Proline or whatever, but
yeah. Yep. But I was starting to look at stuff like that, being like, hey, that would be kind of cool. That'd be fun.
But I mean, overall, their tire compounds are kind of how I like them. They're nice and soft, wrapped just around the rocks. So in that sense, it would be nice to have like an insert in them that would allow you to have it wrap around, but not sidewall kind of fold over. But I felt like they did pretty good, even considering I felt it pushing a little.
Yeah.
If I was cornering and it was gripping in, I could feel the tire kind of, but not like side hilling or just things like that. It's more if you're really putting it under some pressure with a corner and
like it would roll over,
fold a little bit, but not bad. You just felt a little bit of a push.
Yeah.
So overall, I give it high marks. I don't know if Harley did anything with them. I know he did the Scale News about it. I saw Exo Cage video and they looked really good.
Right on. I was gonna say, speaking of competition stuff, I talked to our track owner about doing a 3-part Havoc series at the track. So the track that you guys that have seen our videos have seen the track, how there's like 8 scale dirt track, 10 scale turf track, oval track, and there's a big crawler course and a basher park. The crawler course, they said, yeah, if you want to facilitate that, be my guest. So I was like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, just host a little event.
Yeah, so I think I might host a Havoc style event. If you guys haven't seen Mountain Havoc on YouTube, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. It's have you seen it before? I think I've probably sent you some videos.
You did
before.
Yeah, but it's been a minute.
Dude, it's so rad. It's so rad. And I want to do some events like that where it's like, it doesn't matter what class it is. There's a 2-2 class and 1-9 class. That's it. Like, that's all. I don't care if it's 4-steer, 2-steer, brushless.
Because in something you're going to be at a disadvantage.
100%.
Based on your setup, yeah.
Yeah. So
you just got to choose where you want to get your points.
Yep. So it's a cool thing. So I'm excited to start looking into that. But we got a lot of speed parts for Christmas. The kids did.
Yeah,
They got
that's cool.
So they worked. Dalton found the A main again. Dude, it was so cool. He battled so hard. He won B main. Okay, so we had a race. Technically, it was a mid-season championship. It was no different than just another race, but just the mid-season. And we had 230 entries
Oof.
at our race. 30 novice cars. Went all the way to C main for novice. It was awesome. And Dalton battled, man, and he won B main. He was being kind of ornery, and he was taking people out on the first corner on the start. So the RD, he goes, Dalton, go to the back, because he qualled eighth, ninth, because of winning the B main. So they made him move back behind 10th, and then they put him around the corner. They penalized him around the corner of the straight.
Yeah.
And I think it totally fired him up, because he went from basically 13th and started battling for third by like lap 5. He was just like dialed, like going. And so we threw in his car, for speed wise, we threw a full set of Witts bearings at it and some aluminum hardware, like nuts on it. And dude, his car was dialed. It was flying. It was really cool. And I actually got to tangle with him a little bit in quals. It was so fun. My car's not nearly, I mean, his is a rocket ship. His is just like total spaceship, right? And so there's like, I can't keep up with him. When he's near me, I got to just fight him off, kind of a thing. And we were battling back and forth. It was really cool, really fun to see. And then we did this thing that I got to do the video of. We did tandem stadium truck racing.
Yeah.
So
how does that work?
Well, for most of the guys, one guy would be like this with the controller, another guy would be like this with the steering wheel.
Okay.
But I was just
it was two cars somehow. Like you scored your 2 runs. Okay.
No, I was just bear hugging Dalton, and I was doing the throttle and he was doing the steering. Dude, it was so much fun. Like, it was so much fun. We ended up, I think we finished like 4th or 5th. It was cool. It was a lot of fun, but it was just, one of those cool, like, he's like, fast, go faster, go fast. I'm like, I don't know when you're going to turn. Like, like, it was cool, but that was a lot of fun. Something different.
How do you communicate as you're doing that? Just like,
dude,
talking the whole time, like,
no,
corner, no, just
maybe the first lap we did.
Oh my gosh.
But I think because I've taught him like when to do corners and all that kind of stuff. It was like we didn't have to talk. We were just going and like having fun doing it. And, he would, every now and then he'd be like, tell me to give all of it on the, to try to pass someone or whatever. But yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. It was cool because his truck is pretty dialed. It's pretty set in. Oh, so Olivia now has a stadium truck, and she got hers from a guy that's a fast guy. So the car's dialed already. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm basically copying everything that's on this car on this one, like all the setup, all the different changes and all that. So I can
just getting all the measurements and the angles and everything. Nice.
Yep. Putting all the ball studs in the right spot and all that kind of thing. So should be pretty cool. But
I see these comments up here. Booster FPV. What's a good rock racer to get? There's not a whole lot of them, right?
Not anymore.
just came out with that new one.
Yeah, but it's not. Are you talking about actually racing?
I like that new. I mean, you could turn the new Vanquish into one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's probably what I would do. Just make it fast. It's got the cage. It's got the look.
Yeah. 2-wheel drive AA day.
Yeah.
Stadium truck.
The optic.
Yeah. I mean, Rock Racer's a hard one right now. I guess the Rift kit.
Yeah, it's hard to control.
Yep, Terry's setup. That's the one I'm copying.
There's the RC four-wheel drive Miller one, but I haven't seen a whole lot.
I would say the Optic would probably be your best bet right now.
And then just set it up how you want.
Yeah, I mean, the other one, I don't think the Gatekeeper. I think it's discontinued. It's kind of depending on what you want it to do. If you actually really want it to go fast, it's got to be a 2.2 car. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anything 1.9 is kind of, unless you're actually doing. Well, there's a Bomber, but it's discontinued. Like you can't.
Yeah.
But like if it's, unless you're doing U4, I would go with a 2.2 solid, or even you could.
There's
do
not
a
lot of those.
No, you could do a Baja Ray. I did it in U4, and you lock the rear end and.
Or they've got that. What's that? 110 Hammer Ray, but they're pretty long and narrow.
Those are tough. I wouldn't. I mean,
tippy.
They're cool, but yeah, I would say the Baja Ray.
I would do like a Rift, but I'd lock it.
Mm-hmm.
The diff, at least the rear.
Yep.
No, I'd probably do both. Because if you're trying to climb, it depends what, like, if you have any hill climbs in it or not.
Well, if you can tune it, I wouldn't lock the front. I would put earplugs in it.
Okay. And then just, lock the rear.
Yeah.
That way you get a little more steering.
For racing, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. He said, watching Dalton battle his way forward through 21.5 A-Main was epic. Moving him to the clinic. Yeah, so they moved him all the way around from the straightaway.
Yeah. I mean, you could also do, if you can get your hands on one, as like a laser nut.
Yeah.
Those are super planted. They're low.
Yeah.
If you're not climbing over rocks, they're great. If you're literally rock racing through stuff and kind of bumping off of rocks and just going for it, they're pretty awesome.
Yep. I don't know. I honestly, I think
they're not solid axles, so
I think the Baja Ray is pretty good, man. I think if you have to do work to it, but if you're rock racing, you got to do work to any car you're going to get. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same build, though. The rock
as
the
a laser
Baja
nut?
Ray and the laser nut. The laser nut's easier to get in and work on.
It's 8 scale though. It's bigger.
Yeah.
So the Baja Ray is a little bit smaller. Not by much, but a little bit. So.
Well, what was the one they had that had the Fox body? What were those called? The DB10, low C. DB10.
Oh yeah, that one's good too. Tenacity DB10.
Tenacity DB10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kind of buggy like.
Yeah, I approve that message. Oh, speaking of approving that message, I saw Homestead. Did I tell you that?
No.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. Kind of what you expect, but
Bomber's probably better rock racer. There's a lot of upgrades you have to do to make it usable for anything. The Bomber, it's such a nothing out of the box.
Well, we used to do the Bombers in 2.2 solid all day in U4.
Yeah,
all day. That was kind of the go-to.
Trailing arms.
Yep. Well, that's why the Baja Ray is kind of nice with that, but you have to lock the rear end. Like I said, lock the rear end and then put earplugs in the front, and that would help it out a lot. Yeah, just about impossible to find these.
The Rift is good. It's just so hard to tame it. They built it with too much power,
and it's got too much flex to it.
Yeah.
Like you got to really get some sway bars on that thing.
Yeah, and this Bomber parts are about impossible to find these days.
Yep.
Axles or anything for them. So. Yep. Yeah, it's getting tough.
I was missing.
People selling their SMT10s.
I know. I was saying I was getting nostalgic the other day, and I was missing my SMT10. I was like, man. Okay, what's your question, Doe the joke? Said his question next.
Oh yeah,
what is it?
He was asking. So here's the thing: what rules are you talking about for Class 2? He's asking about a Class 2. Where'd it go?
24 scale.
Oh wow, way back. Yeah, SCX 24 chassis to start a build on right now. So by our rule sets, our Class 2, we have to do stock chassis. So but I'm guessing that the class 2 he's referring to is probably the RC CMA rules, in which case it's a lot more lenient. CCMCA, RCMCCA rules. Let's try to see their classes. 2 vertical rail bars and similar configurations of stock chassis. So yeah, most of us run stock ones because they have to be configured like the stock trucks anyway. So what, you could get titanium ones or carbon ones, but it's basically has to be like a stock style. So most of us just keep it. Class 3 is when we start getting more interesting with our chassis, and there's a lot of good options there. But yeah, a lot of us, they were chopping them, the chassis, but I think the modifications people were doing more was adding stuff to them to allow the shocks to ride higher and things like that. But they were running stock chassis. They changed the hoops and stuff.
I was a little disappointed. I went to confirm, and I didn't think it was the right deal. But our local, the localish hobby shop to me went out of business. I knew it did, but I didn't really ever see like a full on going out of business sale or advertisement or anything. Hobbytown.
Your local one?
Us. Yeah, I mean we had 2. We were kind of in between 2 of them, but went out of business. Because that was the one. Remember, I took the video of the one where it had a pretty epic crawling course.
Yep.
That one's out now. I was like, oh man, because I was jonesing to do some crawling, and the weather's been sucking around here. It's been just wet and cold. No snow, not yet. Anyway.
CK4RC says the FMS lemur. That's pretty cool for a little mini crawler. Pretty cool. I don't know what he was asking for, which size. But yeah, Jake, we keep them pretty stock for the class 2.
So it's funny because as soon as I sold my UDR, now I'm jonesing for that new FMS. It's the same truck, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that new FMS, did you see how you get the batteries? Way easier. Like the whole top comes off with 2 clips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh.
How easy it is to get the battery in the Mojave?
How easy?
Clips and then Velcro.
Yep. That's how it is. That's how it is in that new FMS one.
Yeah.
The body comes off and you just put the
none of that slotted stuff where it only fits. Yeah.
Yeah. Certain height or whatever. You can run whatever. Oh, Chong said he recently got his hands on a Yeti.
Yep. They were pretty rad.
Yep. And
I still thought it was better than the Bomber and should have.
Yep.
It had some of its issues, but a lot of people were finding fixes to them, like the diffs. They did the HD diffs, and then they did the metal inserts in the axles, and they became pretty tough.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, that's what got me.
So my buddy Josh Zimmerman is getting creative again.
Uh-oh.
He's the kind of guy that rules are made because of him. Right?
Was he the one that originally was doing the limiting strap things on the 24 scales?
No.
With the axle or adding axles or something?
Guy.
Oh, okay. What's he doing?
Log into my account here without needing. I'm going to show you because it's just that cool.
I've been jonesing for a little dusting of snow so we could go out and bash with the monster trucks. So bad. And I've been wanting to do it at our races. We used to have time to do it in between. Now I don't have time, but I've been wanting to get the monster trucks out and do some racing with that.
Yeah, here it comes. You ready for
And
this?
yep. I was gonna
I missed what
say
you just said. I was trying to concentrate and make sure I did it right. Ready for this?
what? Is that a gyro?
It's a servo.
To
And my
just
guess
weight
is so
bias?
that when you hit the throttle, it'll lean so that it won't want to stand up as much.
Ah.
It'll change the way that the suspension geometry is.
Dude,
That's
it's
what it looks like to me.
yeah. Like a suck down winch.
Yeah, new from the ground up, active suspension is what he calls it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he's the one that's created all these crazy chassis like this barefoot one and freestyle RC stuff is what he used to do. He's got these crazy looking axles as well based off of PR racing axles because he does some race stuff too. He's been doing a lot of buggy racing. But yeah, I mean those
is that PRP?
It says PR
No.
racing. So here's a car, right? A PR racing something. No, wait, that's not here. It is based off the PR racing S1 V4. He'll drive buggy.
No, I was referring to his Instagram account. What's his Instagram handle?
I don't know if he has one. So I guess he's using something from parts from these buggy kits. I don't know if it's the diffs and all of that in order to do it. So it's straight race parts that he's then taking these components and just creating, like here, his holder axles for monster trucks.
That's crazy.
With the steering built right into the axle there. Crazy stuff, man.
Super rad.
Look at how low he keeps it too. Just it's straight racing, like to go out and kick butt.
Yeah.
Take names.
It's surprising how much a little adjustment on suspension makes a world of difference. I'm talking like a little adjustment. Like I went out and I was kind of playing around with my truck and I raised the ride height in the rear, which stiffened the suspension. And then all of a sudden I started pulling wheelies and I was like, I don't want wheelies. Like I didn't think it would do that,
Right.
but it was just a little difference, like a tiny, tiny difference. And I'm like, dang, it's crazy.
I'll be curious how this servo takes the active suspension. I think it's really just drive part. So I don't think that like impacts and stuff from the suspension otherwise is going to jam back into it based on the way it's set up. It's just crazy to look at it, how it's functioning.
Yeah.
Josh Zimmerman Designs. You can see it probably better if you get it on your phone or whatever, where you can blow it up full. Oh wait, yeah, still trying to do. Pretty crazy.
That's rad, though. Bless you.
Thank you.
Super cool.
This is for my Monster Truck Club. I can't let them see this, right?
Secret sauce. Oh, it's so funny. So the guy that's kind of contending with Olivia right now just got a new B7 buggy. And Olivia is like, you would think that she's like a hardcore engineer because we're totally helping him out, like, or, trying to give him like tips or whatever. But she's like, She won't let him see her car. She'll be like
Yeah.
showing someone else like holding it like this so he can't see what's in it. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. You're running novice stock. Chill out. But she's taking it serious. Serious. Oh, speaking of, I dressed up the RC8X.
Oh, that's nice. Would you just sticker it?
Yeah, I put a wrap on it.
Nice.
Ooh. Put my
Oh, I
little
see it.
a little associated. Bam. And I covered up the orange. I didn't like the orange. Sorry, Harley. Wasn't a fan of the orange. So I covered it up, and now when it lights up like red with the J Concept sticker on it, which is kind of cool. GC Coop 2 says, Tony, how do you feel about the Losi LMT TLR? There's not a lot of videos on it.
Well, so there was a couple issues in the making of it.
He super chatted you, by the way.
Okay. Well, thank you. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Where's that? Sorry, it's being covered by my other screen. All the chat is right now. I gotta move my windows because I can't see. Let's talk about that. Let me just kind of make comments really quick on this ERC cheeseburger monster truck since it's up, and then we'll move over to that.
All right, take it easy, Nick. Good luck with the build.
That
looks nice.
Yeah, I mean they give you lots of options. That's for sure. When you do something like this, problem is if you don't know how to set it up, it becomes problematic because like they haven't found the geometry for it, and so then it's just relying on you to find it.
Yep.
And that's, I mean, that changes anyway based on your links and a lot of other things.
Yep.
Can't tell if that seems high or not. $299 seems a bit high.
Well, it's inflation, man. It's not terrible.
That's true. I haven't had to buy a chassis in a while because I just run the LMT ones now.
Yeah.
But when I was buying, I mean, yeah, what were the Freestyle RC ones? They were more, but you got quite a bit with them. See if they still have their site up or not. I mean, these Pro Cs were $450, but they're pretty.
There was a lot
pretty elaborate.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot that came in that.
Yeah, it was $495. So this one was $400. So I guess it's in the right. It's in the right price then. I prefer this style though, where most of it's cut out and looks more cage-like.
Yeah.
And you don't have all the options, but it's built to be monster truck proportions. I had that one from the other guy. Everyone called it the cheese grater chassis, not the cheeseburger. That wasn't the name of it. And I had all those options, but once I set it up the first time, I never changed it to all the other options to test it. And so then I just had all these holes in a chassis. So I would just say it's not my first option. I think that there's Black Market RC. I don't know if you've looked at any of his chassis.
His are nice.
He's got some really great ones as well. So his are in that 335 range here. But I just, when I look at it, I see it's more tuned to racing.
Yeah.
It's carbon fiber, and it's set to take the LMT as well. So I don't know what the other one's set up for as far as a transmission in order to mount on it.
That's a big thing to look for too.
So like this is what I would get, honestly. If I were looking at one, I would get one of like this XLMT chassis or this BMRC Gladiator chassis here. It's a little more, it's $50 more, but the look of it, right?
Yeah, it's what you want.
3-dimensional. It has the extra holes where you need them, where your shocks are going to go already. Or if you wanted to do your shocks on trailing arms, but they're not just giving you like a bajillion holes all through this whole section because you don't really need them. Anyway, that would be, I mean, that's a really sick looking chassis.
Yeah, it is. Looks very nice.
Jacob Smallwood does good work with it. But there's also the Southwest monster truck group, Trey Adamo.
Man, it's been a long time since I've been in that racket.
Or Trevor. Why did I say Trey? Trevor.
I was wondering, but I didn't want to correct you.
Thank you for nobody for. He's got the Warpath chassis, and those things are sweet.
Super sweet.
So here is in being talked about in RC car action, and these are straight race chassis.
What I miss though is that
Look at how
freestyle.
clean that looks right there.
I never had it, but that freestyle RC transmission made those chassis so much more sick.
Yep.
For all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So that just got a little longer than I meant it to. So GC Coop, I hope you're still here. I think that the LMT TLR is pretty good. I think we're going to see some of the things that they did for it. I think we'll see it in the LMT 2. That'll come out like when they do an upgrade, like a version 2. I think we'll see some of the things that they've done for it. Because they've got the molds, right? So I think we'll see some of those little upgrades find their way into whatever the next iteration of the LMT is. You can't quote me on that because I don't know it for sure. But it's a great platform. I have mine actually right here. I can get it.
Your LMT?
Yeah. The tuned one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the TLR.
I'm jonesing to get some monster truck in, and they posted the our local monster truck group, their schedule, but I don't know what it's like compared to our. Oh, that's the thing. Chong, if you're still in here, I don't know if you know anyone that's looking for some oval cars, but we've got some SR10s that we decided. I talked to the kids, and they were like, "Yeah, I think it's time to let them go." So we're gonna move the SR10s.
So it's an LMT. They've got the little bit more going on with it, being like those chassis we just saw. And the biggest, I think, kind of bummer with it was that they did the longer wheelbase, which then made it not club legal. So you would have to change. You'd have to get rid of the nice parts that they put in there, like the trailing arms.
The big fat ones,
and
yeah.
They got the TLR shocks on it. It drives really good. But a lot of the leagues were just like, well, they didn't take our stuff into account, and we're not going to budge on our lengths and our whatever in order to accommodate. So
yeah,
it made it the audience that it was for the race guys and when the leagues wouldn't allow it, then it just became like, well, now I'm buying that, and then I got to get this other stuff too.
Yeah.
So unless your league,
Our
or
league
your
allows
race
it.
group allowed it, which ours I think might have. I think it wasn't an issue. We didn't have a length issue. We had
Yeah.
width because that was more of an advantage.
Sure.
Because length, you're going to have cornering issues. You might get some stability, but you're going to lose other things, right? So,
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that was why, was because we couldn't really run them in race leagues up here. So
Can't wait
same with
for
like the king slings and that they worked in ours in Virginia. You could run them, and you could just put monster truck tires on them and run them.
That's what we could do here. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a battery limit anyway, though. I think we had a 3S limit regardless. So
I'm kicking myself. The last race we did, we could have run 3S, but we stuck with 2S. And
yeah.
but we use race batteries. Like we use the buggy batteries that we race with, like 130C or whatever it is on 2S.
Okay.
But I wish we would have stepped it up to 3S because we were missing a little bit of power. You know what I mean? Like once we got going, it was fine, but we were missing a little torque when last time we raced monster trucks.
What I will say is if they have those on sale,
get it?
Yeah. But again, look at where you are. I mean, like I think Trigger King didn't allow it. I think that the California groups didn't allow it. I don't know if Jacob's in here at all. But I'm pretty sure you just have to look at their rules and then look at the length of this, because that was the main kicker for it. But I found it, fun to put together. I enjoyed the build of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this new site with everything being under tabs. I used to be able to just scroll and see everything.
Yeah.
See all the pictures pointing to what the new things were. Now I've got to sit here and click things. And the overview, like, is the first thing I would always skip past just to see the picture, like this part.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the load times are killing them or something. I don't know, but
no one else can see what you're talking about but me.
Oh, sorry. I forget about that.
That's a cool story, Tony.
Yeah, very cool. Cool story, bro.
Yep.
Oh, he is in here. So I was trying to find the length of it. That's why I wasn't really actually trying to do anything. Yeah, so longer wheelbase, 1.5 inches longer than the LMT. Hitting the magic sweet spot for the perfect balance, stability, and quick cornering ability.
What was that?
In all leagues.
what was that quote? The 10 to 15% more or whatever. What did he say?
Oh, I forgot about those. Jacob, I forgot about that. Now you're reminding me. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a step probably further away from race people, straight to racing. So, but yeah, these shorten it up and you'll be good to go. We'll talk after. But yeah, I'm never buying Losi again. Came with a few parts wrong.
I think a lot of companies
2 left-hand parts instead of 1 left and 1 right. Okay, well, that happens.
I had something like that happen.
It's the one person that got it and then commented, right? Because you're going to go in, the first thing you're going to do is comment. I mean, I get being upset about it. It would be super frustrating to get through it all and not have what you need to build it.
Especially if you're...
But I'm sure they would also take care of you for it.
Yeah. I was going to say, especially if you're like a real racer and you're trying to get it done before a race, that's the worst.
But it doesn't happen to the majority. So it's one of those comments that are like, all right, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I don't build a lot and I put it together and it runs great. So, but yeah, the 15-inch wheelbase makes it tough. Tough. What's up, Jeremy Smith? But yeah, $5.99. I wondered when the LMT is going to drop again because they are. I know people are kicking about them being out of stock.
Oh, they are?
This one isn't.
I didn't know they were LMTs were out of stock.
This one's not. Or they kept saying discontinued or something.
Yeah,
Everyone
they
was
could.
posting
Yeah.
about it, but it's this one, yeah. So the Gravedigger's out of stock and it says discontinued.
Mm.
But yeah, it does have nice upgrades in it. If you don't mind shortening the wheelbase, it's not a bad truck. But you missed it, Jacob. We were just actually showing your stuff and your chassis, and then Trevor's, who I called Trey a second ago. That was pretty special of me. I'm so bad with names in general. So I found it. I didn't look very close. I'll click here to shop now. That's what I need.
Maybe that's the one thing that's kind of a bummer to me about
So there's a
going
Challenger chassis.
going aftermarket for chassis right now.
Yep.
Is that the base kit is so expensive. Like before, you could buy a SMT 10 kit and part of your budget was the aftermarket chassis. But now I feel like you have to get the the LMT and it's like 600. Like that's the only thing that's holding me back. That would hold me back from going down
Right.
that route right now, is that to get a really cool chassis, I'd have to fork out a ton of money.
He's got so many cool upgrade parts and stuff.
Right.
Shaft squatch retro chassis here. Leaf sprung. The dual motor mount for it. This is cool stuff, man. Agitator LMT chassis. Kind of a race kind of setup on it.
I still want to do
Angle on the
another.
batteries and all that.
I still want to do another Claude.
Yeah. The BRDs and the racehorse and the Gladiator. I think the Gladiator was one we were just looking at.
Mm.
Yeah, Jeremy, give me a call. Tomorrow is probably a good day to call, actually. But yeah, this looks sick. Out of stock. But he had him over here, like the Contender. Just really cool stuff. Then race chassis and all kinds of different stuff. But that look just looks so good. Oh my gosh. I'm jonesing again. But yeah, I'm planning to be in Utah, Jacob. So
Utah.
Yeah, that's where they're doing the World Finals.
Nice.
Like 4th of July weekend.
Nice.
I never got a KK2 booster FPV. They were sick. They were hard to get. But these look legit too, with the 3D cages and all that.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, Double A Day says he's seen used LMTs for $450. Well, that's cool.
Oh gosh.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, Utah. Yeah, I'll see how long I'm in there, man. I don't know all the details of it yet, because I know my son's birthdays are right in that corner there. But we'll be close wherever the main stadium is in Utah. I'm guessing it's right in the heart of it. So Salt Lake City.
Mm.
Are they going back to 2 days again? I hope they're going back to 2 days. That's all I can say. I think so. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm seeing it looks like University of Utah Stadium, Rick Eccles Stadium. Looks good size. They do motocross there, so
Nice.
oh, and they've done Monster Jam there. Yeah, very cool. July 4th and 5th. Sweet. Anyway, so yeah, there's some monster truck talk. So actually I have my LMT minis in. I've been running them. I got the
Really?
batteries charging right now. I think I have one battery that's gone bad. It just keeps doing the like blinking, like it's trying to charge.
I had one that went bad early, and I just converted it over to a different battery. But yeah,
I mean, convert it over a different battery. You just got a different pack and put the ends on it, or
yes,
okay.
I just made it has a JST on it now.
Oh, okay, the truck itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just need to. I have an extra battery from when we did the shoot, so I think I'll be all right. But yeah, it's a bummer.
Yes, sir. July 4th and 5th. Darby says.
It's so cold up here.
Try not to shiver.
Try not to show it.
That's funny. Team Associated just released the gas truck and no new engine to be found. The team is going downhill. Yeah, I don't know much about that motor, the engine situation, because I saw it come out.
Are different than nitro, right? The guys that went,
it's nitro.
Just nitro. Oh, the Team Associated is a nitro.
Yeah,
they're newer.
Yeah. You know, I don't know much about it, about that situation, but I feel like, because I remember when I had a GT way back in the day, it was just a common 0.18 motor. Like, it wasn't anything special. And unless no one's making a 0.18 motor anymore, yeah, it's not available as an RTR or on their site. But either are there nitro kits. They don't sell. None of it's RTR or anything like that on the site. You buy it. Team Associate, I think for the kits, it's kind of like it's a kit. You know what I mean? It's like you put the motor. They're very race focused, so you put the motor that you want in it. But yes, I would have loved to see that car that comes with an engine in it already, but I think it probably wouldn't have sold so much if it's going to sell at all right now, because that would have put the price point at $600 easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but didn't like the main manufacturer of engines just say that they were calling it quits? I thought that was just on the Scale News.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always more. You know what I mean? Like, there's always someone else. It's not like all nitro motors are going away, so there's got to be someone else making something. OS has engines for the RC10 GT. That's what Max Paul says. Yeah, I mean, that's what I remember. The OS 0.18 or whatever. That was just a common motor. Yeah, and KJ Flight says you could find 8th scale nitro all day, or gas all day. Yeah, there's no problem finding that kind of stuff. But yes, I would have really liked to see it like all in one. But you know, that's just what happens.
Do they have an asbestos model?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's yeah. I watched the videos on that Tomley's video.
Oh, I didn't see that video. I saw the I heard about it and I saw the thing, but yeah. You just got one? You just got a motor, or you just got the truck? I didn't know the trucks were shipping yet. Dude, I would love to get 6 people or more to have that truck and to race them out on the dirt track at our local track. That would be a hoot. It would be so much fun to see that thing out there ripping. So there's a gal that's on my daughter's race team, and they want to do. So Olivia wants to do dirt in the summer, and I started talking to the race team about what their plans are for the summer. You know, if they're going to do turf, start thinking about doing. If they're going to do dirt, too, start thinking about that kind of stuff. But then a light bulb went off because you know how I've been talking about wanting to get them into wanting to. Well, she's interested in nitro, so I'd like to facilitate that.
Mm-hmm.
The light bulb went off, and I was like, if these two girls can combine their powers and do pit stops for each other and do a all girl race team,
Yeah.
like for nitro, you don't see that. It's normally
No.
one girl and their dad or whatever.
Yep.
But if you could see them working together and they got competitive, dude, they would go far. You know what I mean? Like that would be awesome.
Did you talk about what happened to her this week yet? I didn't talk
No,
about that yet.
no, It was a
That was
bummer.
Total bummer.
So I don't know if she would have clinched this week if she won, or if that would be next week. The good news is we have 2 throwaway races. We have 2 drops.
Okay.
So she TQ'd in her first qual. She set down
Which
a
is
TQ.
awesome.
Yeah, set down a TQ pace. She was fast. The guy that I was talking about that, you know, it just got the new car and is starting to challenge her. She gives him all kinds of she just is always constantly jabbing at him in a good way, right? It's funny. And so she went into the race. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but because he hasn't led a lot, you know, if you race, you understand the RD curse. You understand what it's about when you're out front, how things start to fall apart and it's hard to keep out front, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I told her that. I was like, hey, because she was concerned he put down a fast lap. And I was like, yeah, but he's got to put down 18 of those. Like it's hard to do that, right? And she's still got TQ. So I was like, just put pressure on him. Like just put pressure on him. Something's gonna happen. You're used to leading, like, and you're used to fighting people off. So
but he's getting it now.
Yeah. And so she gave the position up to him right away in the main and was just right behind him. Just falling.
Nervous.
Oh, dude, he piped it and she actually hit the brake with enough time for him to straighten out and was like right on the back end of his car, like just like pushing him down the straightaway, right? And then he ended up piping it like 2 corners later, and that's when she passed him. And she passed him and got like half a lap ahead of him. Like she just like I even said in the video she's sandbagging because I could see her just kind of like do this kind of thing, like go forward, come back, go forward, like push on him. And then as soon as he crashed, she just punched out. And then there was a double, and then immediately on the other side of the pipe was a short straightaway. And she turned off the double, had a perfect line coming to set herself up, and a car jumped off the double into our lane and just went head on with her and sawed the front end of her car off. I was like, oh. The video,
the video.
I know.
It's sad.
People were laughing because they're like, no, that you could hear me say that in slow mo.
I'm out.
Yeah,
It's up.
I know. No, it was. But the cool thing is she had a really good attitude about it. Like she wasn't pissed or anything like that. And, you know, she was like, that's, you know, what do you do? There's nothing you could do about that. Like slow-mo, you saw both the cars try to turn away from each other. Oh, Ryan's in here right now. The guy that took her out.
Oh.
So, I mean, there really wasn't anything you could do. And she had
I'm that guy normally. Like that's when I was. So did I tell you about my first ever experience at an RC track?
No.
Okay. It's pretty good. All right. So never been. Well, no. Okay. So we had a dirt track. And so I had to run that one, Debbie's RC World. They take my short course truck up there on practice days.
Sure.
But they always had a spot where you'd set down in your cars and then drive in from there.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to this new one that we had, this carpet, whatever, just got my new low-C kit built up, whatever. Jeremy Smith, who was in here a second ago, built it for me.
Yeah.
I took it up there. And I'm like, I don't know where to set it down. Like,
oh no, set it on the straightaway, right in the middle.
There's no like spot where you could set it down and then come in from. And so I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. So I just kind of like right where I was going to get up on the driver's stand, there was like a jump and I figured they're going to get it. And I just stuck it tight against the wall, set it down right there, and then start going up the stairs. This guy comes flying over the top of it. Wham! Hits it, breaks his A-arm or their knuckle or whatever, rips it all off. I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. And he's actually a little pissed,
Yeah.
And but I'm just like, I have no idea. Like, you guys don't have a spot to set him down and drive out. Like,
yeah.
Apparently, I didn't realize it because the walls were short enough. They just set him down in like a hole and jump over the wall. Like, but you don't have just a gap for us to come out of. Like,
right.
Yeah,
that's too funny.
Anyway, it was crazy. I looked all over and like,
yeah.
I asked somebody, like, just put it down and just go for it. Like, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, I just set it down, tucked it tight to the wall. Seemed like nobody could hit it where I put it. And that guy.
Yeah. That happened twice this weekend. Once with me and once with Olivia, actually. So in her qual 1, in novice class, they call you by name to start your qual, right? So you line up and they're like, "Oh, thanks, Crawler Tracks." So they,
the super sticker.
They'll call like Olivia, Brandon, Ryan, and you just go as they call your name. Well, Olivia in Q1 just took off. Like, she started pole, so she just flew, and the RD didn't call the last car fast enough. So Olivia's coming down the straightaway, full pin, didn't know that they didn't call off the last car, and totally just piled in. Luckily, it didn't break, but she just piled into the car in front of her. Not her fault, not the other car's fault. They just didn't know, right? So that happened, and I'll get back to that in a second. And then when I was driving truck, a guy off of a double, his car died on the backside of the double. And I came ripping around, hitting the double, and I had nowhere to go. I mean, his car just died on the track. And so I come flying over and just slammed right into the back of his car. I broke his rear A-arm. I didn't break, but I felt bad. It's like, oh, sorry, but there's nothing either of us could have done at that point. But now getting back to the big hit, I told Olivia today, I was like, you better take your car apart like ASAP, because the B7's notorious for bending the chassis. I was like, you had 2 really hard like front end collisions. We got to take your car apart, put it back together, and balance it and see if it's dialed still or if the frame's twisted or not. That way I can get one.
Can you put it on something flat and see, like when you get it stripped down to a chassis?
Yeah, I mean, what I'll do, so like if we put it back together, the A-arm and all that back together, and it's leaning, I'll be able to tell right off of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a setup board that I set it on, and I have
basically you got to get it fixed. I thought.
Yeah. And I could throw a ruler on it too on the back side.
I thought you were telling her to tear it down to.
We might tear it down because, well, maybe not this race, but we're tearing the whole front end apart because the hinge pins are getting sloppy. So we noticed that the last race, and she's like, "I'll wait till afterwards," because it wasn't bad. It's just we want it a little tighter. And Dahlon's car, man, dude, his car was dialed. Like, you ever see those cars going around the track and they look like the body's twisting because it's got so much grip? You could hear his tires scraping because they were ripping around the corner, and his car was just like, it looked so rad. It was cool to see. But no, that was a bummer that she broke. But that's racing. It she was. I think the takeaway that we had from it was like, that thing where it's like you can't.
Happens in any racing. Watch NASCAR, man.
Well, and you
can't get to the finish line without getting wrecked.
Yeah, and like we got to remember we're not in control of this for me and Olivia, so we're like, hey, that's what it is. Let's just go out there and be fast next race and try to lay it down. But the cool thing is, if she continues to win,
and if you're having fun just being fast and feeling dialed, like
I mean, she's getting to the point where she'll take her car out whenever she can to go out and run some practice. Like she'll make a couple little changes and then go out and run it and just get it, make sure it's dialed. She did that with her truck too. She finished putting her truck back together, like her servo and stuff. And she went out and was running it and getting used to it. So the plan is, we talked to the RD to see if it was okay. The plan is if she clinches, she's going to move her buggy out of novice into 21.5, and then she's going to run truck for the rest of the season in novice, turned down because of 13.5 truck. So she's going to turn it down and run it in novice just to get used to it before she goes into truck class. We're in a weird scenario, and I don't know.
The truck class super competitive.
Bro, yeah, like soup. Oh, Kyle's in here, and the guy that she keeps on competing with. Oh, she's gonna win. She's determined now. So, no, but so that's the kind of thing where I think our club is kind of at an impasse right now. Our club structure is really, really good. There's like no drama, but I mean, it's really, really good. So the classes moving up are getting very competitive, like not competitive, like cutthroat, but like really good drivers.
Yeah.
And so it's almost time to like break it up into subcategories, like have, like, for instance, 13.5 truck. I don't know the actual number, but from first until 15th, there's probably not much of a separation. They're all on the same lap and they're all super fast. And so it'd be nice to see like an open truck class and then a second class being like an intermediate class or sportsman class.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Christopherson goes, Kyle's getting beat by two girls at the next race for sure. I know. So Kylie, the girl that she races with, the one that.
But is Ryan gonna get beat by him too?
Ryan's getting beat. Yeah, right. So Ryan and Kyle,
he's okay with it. He's just throwing it down. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan and Kyle are both brothers, and they're in the same class as Olivia. And but the thing is, like our classes, where they're structured, like there's really good drivers in novice, and then they move into 21.5 sportsman, and there's really good drivers in sportsman, and so it's like the 21.5 class. It's literally, if you make a mistake, you're done. Yeah. Like an A main, like you make a mistake and you're 8th place, or if not worse.
When I raced BMX, there was a girl that could beat me.
Yeah.
And she was like a year younger. So she was she should have been in her, such whatever age girls class, but there weren't.
Yeah.
And then so they'd make her race the boys, but they'd make her race the boys an age above because she was so fast.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like number 1 in the world too. So
there's that.
Like.
Well, it's funny because I don't know if you listened to the last Rogan with
Matt
Huff.
No.
He was talking about that, about like when you are able to compete with elite athletes and you just realize it's just not in the cards for me to be at that level, like those freak athletes, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not, you just don't have it. But now, and so like the girls right now that they're talking about, Olivia and Kylie, they're good racers. Like they're getting really good. And I'm proud of it because I'm coaching that team. And so they're moving up fast. And it's like, they're beating. Kyle and Ryan are our age, a little younger than us. So they're grown men taking it and getting beat by the ladies. So it's pretty cool. If anything, if she comes back and she wins the rest of the heats, she can say she technically never lost. She just DNF'd one. So we were talking about that, and I was like, yeah, that's true. So
cut back on Coke Zero, man. I've been drinking water like crazy.
Coke Zero.
Yep.
Back on the wagon.
Yep. Back on the wagon. No, just water.
Yeah.
Off the wagon. You're reading the comment?
No, Brian says, you make one mistake and all of a sudden you're on fire, Ricky Bobby. Dude, it's so true. It's so okay. So we had down to C main and novice this race. In 21.5, I think there was D or E main. And truck, there was D or E main. We had 220 entries of racing this weekend.
Man,
It's crazy. It was such a long day. We were there from 7:40 until 10 p.m. at night.
wow.
Like it was a long day. I mean, we have extra to do because we do the rentals,
Yeah.
but it was so long, so long. But no, it's fun, man. And the program's getting really, really good. I'm really like proud of the program and not I mean everyone that's working there, that's doing it. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to see. Everyone helps everyone out too.
That's awesome. Because you don't get
Yeah.
that in racing all the time.
Yeah. Mike's in here. Yeah, 4 heats of truck, 5 heats of 17.5 buggy. It was
That's
awesome.
crazy.
That's for mains. That's how many heats were in mains, dude. That's like, it's crazy. And like I said, the separation between 1 and 15 is they're all pretty much on the same lap. Like
That's really good.
It's really fast. Yeah. So we'll see. Dalton.
I was usually like 4 laps down. That's where
Right.
I'm good.
Hey, that's how I am in truck, dude.
Yeah.
Like I am not fast in truck. Like I'm getting there, but I'm all
Well,
of a sudden.
from whoever the leader was,
Yeah.
I'd be having my own little battle at 4 laps down with somebody.
Yep.
But
yeah, 133 people and 233 entries.
dang.
It was busy. It was a packed house.
A lot of people running multiple trucks.
Yeah. So like Olivia mentioned that we're tending to 12 vehicles during a race day. We have, she's not racing yet with the truck, but she was working on it and running it in practice. So she had, we each have a buggy and a truck. I started running 21.5 buggy. I don't know if I told you that. And it's
what?
21.5 buggy.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started running it just because I was like, I wanted to put some pressure on Dalton. I'm nowhere close to how fast his car is or anything like that, but I can put pressure on him and like kind of push him forward. So we were actually in the same sort in one of the quals. And of course he took off and went into the next qual, but yeah, it's fun, man. 21.5. That's what made me start to really look at the setup on my truck because I was like, I used their old car, both of them. So Dalton won won a championship with it. One, maybe 2. Olivia got through most of a season with it. And before they got their B7s. And I was like, okay, this car's got to be okay, but it's not nearly as fast as their B7s. Their B7s are fast. Like they're little spaceships, the way they're all dialed in. And after driving it, I was like, okay, I think I could dial up my truck a little bit more. So I've been kind of going through that, trying to figure it out. So, and especially seeing, I don't know why there's no logic to this.
I see my race buggy was over there. I haven't done anything with it in 3 years.
Oh man. Yeah, there's no logic to this, but for some reason I can dial the kids' cars so much better than my car. Like I don't know why. I like
that, or maybe they don't need it dialed to drive. And you just I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just gonna leave it
there. No, they are definitely better drivers than I am. But their car, I mean, you can just see their car, like how planted it is, you know what I mean? Like how responsive it is and all that kind of stuff. And then like I was watching so I kind of drove Dalton's car, his truck, and he was steering it while I was throttle, and the car just went wherever he pointed it. Like my truck doesn't do that, and I'm like, come on, like, why does my truck not do that? So hopefully I can get there. But
skill.
We decided we're gonna forego. As of right now, we decided we're gonna forego the next oval season. We're gonna focus on dirt and on turf in summer, and not do oval. There's
so you're getting rid of your oval stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna put it up for sale. I don't know how much I can get out of it because they're kind of older cars. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe 150 each chassis, something like that. I won't sell the bodies, but 150 each chassis, maybe with the 17.5 motor in it. We have the Reedy stock motors in it,
Okay.
but they're fun. They're just we were talking to someone. They're like, you're not gonna go and travel and do championships and stuff with oval cars. Like you're gonna do it with your off road. Like, yeah, that makes more sense. So that way we could put more fast stuff in our off road cars. I need to get the kids both better radios, and I need to get a couple better components for some of the cars. We got a wheeler, 4-wheeler buggy too. I got that on. I traded for it just straight across trade, a 12 scale, that Element Bushido 12 scale. Traded straight across for the chassis, and I was like, okay. So now we got that to try to play with in the summer. Mike said, let's hope the weather is better. I know we're gonna have the racing this summer. I think is going to be. I'm hoping we're going to be able.
You guys have a good off-road outdoor track.
2 of them, yeah.
You Die Hard and.
Well, they're both Die Hard, but one's dirt and one's turf.
Oh, okay. And they both run the same night?
No.
Or they do different nights?
Different nights. They're off.
Helps.
Yeah, opposing weekends. But I have a feeling the kids are so dialed up this year. I have a feeling we're really going to make a good push this summer because we're going to be able to go out and practice a lot. I'm still waiting on TZO's carpet tires, man. Like they're coming. They're coming, and I'm like, I can't wait till we get them. Ooh, look at that.
This is the hard body one that's saying that they all got.
Oh, nice.
Are making, and I said the guy Will painted him up super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty rad.
That's dope.
He had sent me this. I didn't realize, so I should have shared it earlier. Did not know that it came through. I should probably put my phone or something up here that'll ping and say like when people message.
No, mine's on do not disturb. Otherwise, my mom calls every time I'm on. I'm like, Mom, I'm on the podcast. Oh.
Dana sent a photo. That's probably when we were talking about it an hour ago. Sorry, Dana. Oh, I should have said too, I'm running it because it was my birthday, but it was also my 10th year of the CCXRC thing. And I haven't had anything to say anything about it.
I forgot to post. I saw that you posted it like right in the middle of all the Christmas jazz. And I was like,
right. It's right at the end of the new year. So
yeah, I forgot to
everything has got crazy sales right now. And I'm going to leave it up for probably another week, just as a thank you. To everybody that has showed support over the years. I do a share screen real quick. So
do it.
Like the pine trees and saplings are $13 instead of 18. 2 adapters. You get 2 of them for $3.
What adapters?
Yeah. I tried to sell
those adapters.
Try to knock a bunch off them. Oh, I need to put these back in stock. I have them. I don't know why it's out of stock. But yeah, servos are on. Everything on the site I put on sale. This is the craziest of them, and I might probably only have one of these left.
What is it?
The FureTech Komodo with a transmission.
That's a
Metal Gears, $70 instead of 100 something.
Oof, that's a good deal.
The FureTech Micro Komodo brushless for the Traxxas. So the thing that people don't realize about that too is it also fits on the Red Cats. You just take off that little spacer that's for Traxxas, and it bolts right up to the mounts on the Red Cat. But there's only a few of those too. But yeah, everything's on sale.
You got your hippos in stock?
Yeah, and they are $50. So they're $20 off for the brass hippo axles.
Those hippo axles are sweet, dude. Like I have them on both my trucks. Those are awesome.
20 if you just want the fronts or whatever, they're 27, so they're $10 off on those. Shocks, double barrel shocks for $14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the sales are pretty decent.
And I need to get one of those koozies.
Steering links are $9 for brass steering links. Yeah, check it out. I'm not gonna read all the numbers off here. Oh, I didn't do the knuckles for some reason. Those got missed. I'll have to go and try to remember to do those. So yeah. Anyway,
Right on.
going through and giving everybody a New Year's sale, but also just like, man, 10 years has been awesome.
That's crazy.
I haven't done many sales, so
congratulations. 10 years in this racket. That's a lot of work.
I did baby glass on sale too. I didn't mention those, but those are on pretty good sale too.
Yeah, the 10 years doing, I was thinking about that, like, because I've been trying to like pencil down some ideas for YouTube again. I want to start posting again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have some time coming up to do that again. So I was like, okay, I'd like to figure out how I could put all this stuff together. I've been recording every race that we're at. I just need to figure out a good way, a good presentation of narrating what happened at the race.
Yeah,
it's hard to do that at the race because I just don't have the
awkward.
time. Well, I don't have the time. Like,
watch Ryan Stiles Harris videos where he goes back and does them. And
I know.
He's basically just watching the race and talking about it as it's happening.
And he's super entertaining to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, I was like, ooh, I should do that. But then I'm like, ooh, I don't know how do you think he's doing that? What program is he just running 2 tracks and just syncing them? And
he's just screen recording. I mean, he's going back and doing an editing, but he's screen recording his screen. And he's sitting there talking about it, and he's filming himself as he's doing it, and then he just pops it up, and you watch it, and he's narrating it. But he's just sitting there, probably still talking to his camera and watching it on his computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how he was doing that, because when I had Ecamm before, you could record, you could have the video going and record the camera on you, and it would do 2 tracks over the top of each other.
Yeah, you could do that too. But it'd be easier to record it yourself and then just line it up in post and be done with it.
Well, that's what I mean. In Ecamm, you could do it all in one. Like, you didn't have to
edit it later.
No, which was cool. I was like,
yeah. But yeah, I don't have any SCX24 transmissions. I do have steel gears for the transmissions. I don't know why they're not on my website. No wonder I have so many of them left. When we were doing pulling, I ordered them, and I've sold them in our local shop. But apparently, I don't have them on my website to sell. So, yeah, I have 2 different type of steel gears for the transmission.
Nice.
But yeah, well, we should get ready to wrap here.
We should. Got to do a load of laundry.
Oh, laundry.
And I got to change out my rear A-arms. They are sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yeah, they're like, I was looking at them and they're like, they rock. You probably can't see it.
Oh, yeah, I can see them moving. Yep.
They rock a lot. And I was like, ooh, I think it's time for me to switch my A-arms out.
Stock Market says, type it out and let an AI do it.
Yeah,
it's like having them write a song about what you did. Have you done that where you get to write it? You say, hey, we were up here at such and such race in RC cars.
Yeah.
And Olivia kicked butt and whatever, and Dalton, and you just give it some feeders, and it'll write a whole song about how they dominated the competition until somebody took her out.
I was in a meeting and I hadn't heard this term before, and I'm like, note to self, start studying this prompt engineering.
Yep.
And I was like,
all about prompts.
Yeah. Well, I never heard that term prompt engineering before. And I was like,
you have to know how to use it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably something that you should go to school for. Sweet. But no,
that's all they're going to have you do there.
Yeah. Yep. Just keep on feeding it. How crazy is that? Like, that's super crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't tell what's real and not anymore. The videos of like snakes eating tigers and chickens fighting babies. Have you seen those? Where they got this little baby that's like fighting a cat and fighting a chicken.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
Well,
But nothing's going to be real anymore. Like anybody could say, "Oh, that's AI."
Yep.
Oh, we got video of you doing this. Well, do you really have video of me, or is that AI and you're really trying to put me in prison for whatever? Like,
imagine
really,
being
like
imagine being an 18-year-old.
world leaders we see doing stuff and the news is putting video up and like, did it really happen?
Right.
Or, I mean, it's getting sketch out there. What can you believe anymore?
Yep.
You don't see it with your own two eyes. We're going to go back to where we live very localized lives because we can't believe what they're saying is happening in the rest of the world, that we only, go back to the pre-internet age where we don't even care to be on there and find out what's happening. We just look, which partly I've been doing. In fact, I was going to tell you something we're doing at our church is like, this Sikh thing, and we're just giving up things. It's almost like a Lent thing.
Yeah.
But, one of the things is like social media. I'm like, can I do that? Like in a world where like posting to these and do this, like, can I give it up for 2 weeks? And I'm like, I know it on a personal level, but they're like, but I do it for work kind of. So can I just I'm not going to respond to comments or post any videos. I'm just going to go dark for 2 weeks.
I do that at the end of the school year every year. I always have that. I always do that post, like, recalibrating post or whatever. Yeah. And I actually go off for like a month or a little bit longer. And I don't post. I lurk, but I don't post.
Yeah. Well, it'd be literally taking the app off my phone.
Yeah, that's tough.
For 2 weeks. Don't look.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of not caring and spending all that time that is consumed with it, doing other things.
Yeah.
Refocusing energy and all that. So
speaking of conspiracies, Jeff.
Gulf of America. I can't wait. I'm going to head down there this winter. My mom's got a place. Yeah. Gulf Shores, but it's the Gulf of America shores.
I love it. So speaking of conspiracies, have you listened to, did I send you the Sunday Cool podcast?
Not the most recent one.
Oh, but I've sent it to you before.
Oh, yeah, I've watched it before.
Okay.
So I knew about Sunday's Cool on its own. I've watched it before. Those guys are hysterical. I didn't know that it was the same guys as the Butterfly, whatever.
Ninjas Are Butterflies.
Butterflies. I didn't know that was their podcast. I'd only seen their skits or their whatever, like the China balloon one and all that they've done that are hysterical.
Dude, if you guys want some funny, light conspiracy stuff, Sunday Cool YouTube channel or the podcast Ninjas Are Butterflies, hilarious. Yeah, dude, I can't get over it. Can't get over it.
The long-haired guy is just.
They're both, yeah, and they do these like cover songs about whatever they're talking about. Yeah. It's hilarious.
They did the one about the Clintons. You said that one. That was hysterical.
Yeah. Or the other one that's really good is Blurry Creatures. That one's a little dry, a little long.
They've been on that one, but yeah.
Yeah. That's the one with the fantastic set.
Yeah.
Blurry Creatures has like the coolest set I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For their podcast.
Yep.
Double Day says we all need to unplug for a while.
I know. I've got another video to drop, and then I'm probably going to unplug.
Are you? 2 weeks? How am I going to talk
I'll still come and do this. I don't have to technically be on social media to do this.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like there's StreamYard. I don't have to have Facebook. I don't have to have YouTube or.
You don't?
So I could still do this.
Yep. Dude, we had a good show today.
It was good.
I missed it. I did. Yeah. I really did.
So bad though right now. I'm cold.
Really?
I have to pee so bad. And I don't have a bathroom in this building.
So you're going to pee in a Gatorade cup.
All this water I've been drinking. So one of my birthday presents was a
Uncle Si cup.
Christmas shopping. Side note, we're going to end here in a second. We went to Williams-Sonoma. Because I've also been on like a kitchen knives kick. Like I want to get good kitchen knives.
You're so old.
Huh? I like one or two. I don't want like a whole set, but like a good chopping knife and a good chef's knife.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're there. I'm not going to buy anything there because it's super overpriced.
Sure.
We're also looking for Christmas presents, but they had this water jug there with lemons, cut and sliced and just soaking in it.
Ooh.
And ice. And, my wife's like, do you want some water? I'm like, nah, I don't really like water. And then she gave me just a sip of hers. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll take a glass of water. So I don't mind water. So like we've been for the cost of it when we go out to eat now, we don't get pop.
Yeah,
They charge you $3
I know.
for a pop, $3.50. You don't even know what it's going to cost. You're like, holy crap, we just spent $15 just on drinks.
Yeah,
And so we're like, everybody gets water, but I can't just do water. I'm like, water with a lemon, like, you know.
yeah. I do the Mio.
And then they bring it back. Oh, we've done that with the kids before.
Yeah,
And we'll bring it. They'll bring you like a refill. I'm like, I'm gonna need more lemons. Just like bring the whole thing to the table because if you're gonna refill, I need fresh lemon juice in it because it doesn't just keep. I've squirted it all out anyway. Be careful how I say all this, but anyway. So I ended up getting one of those jugs that they had at Williams Sonoma, and I've been cutting up lemons and just floating them in it and having delicious water.
Nice.
So, and I still also throw. So this is my second cup since I've probably had 4 cups like this today, plus maybe 5.
And in the summertime, I'm bad in the summer because I drink so much water in the summer at the shop. I have the 32 ounce like stainless cups or jug things. I fill that thing up probably 3-4 times a day, just guzzling water.
Yeah. But I don't know why I won't just go over to we've got that little tap thing because our water's so gross here. We had to get like a reverse osmosis where they drill a little thing and put it in your sink. So that's my in-laws paid to have that done because they hated the water. I didn't drink it, so I wasn't like gonna pay to have that done. I'm like, I'm not gonna drink water. So
it's funny because like at our house we have tap water. Our waters are okay here in Washington. It's not good, not bad. But at the shop I have
your city water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're well.
Yeah, at the shop I have the jug, the cooler.
Yeah.
I love it because it's like ice cold. Ice cold water every time.
See, I don't like cold water. I like room temp.
Yeah, you would.
So. But yeah, so we just have it out there and it's just soaking with lemons in it and it's great.
Yep.
Got a Dahlstong knife. It's nice. What's a Dahlstong knife?
Sounds fancy.
Dahlstong. They'll have funny names. Oh, dang, they're expensive.
Fancy.
They are expensive. Yeah, I did not get those. I did get Damascus ones on Amazon. I don't know it's like Podin. They're nice, but they just got 2.
That's cool.
But we've had our knives since we got married. The one set, and they're pretty beat up. So
that's what happens.
They don't cut very well anymore. So, all right.
That's what happens. Cool, dude. Well, it was fun.
Good chatting with you.
Hanging up.
See you, everybody.